First person I'd like to call is Jose Rodriguez, 618 Jackson Avenue.
Good evening. I just want to start off and say happy Hanukkah. I know it's this week. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and also Happy New Year to everyone. I just want to say congratulations again to the Elizabeth football team. If you guys weren't at the game, it was an incredible game, especially the finish. It was almost like a fairy tale finish. So I want to congratulate those young men and in their future endeavors. I also want to congratulate the Board of Education for providing busing for the community and allowing some people who could not get there to get on the bus and get there. So again, thank you for that. And that's it. My comments are short. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Next, Teresa Ajanga, 414 East 5th Avenue.
Good evening to the Superintendent, Pablo Munoz, the board members, and the community. I'm here tonight to address the issue of unfair workplace practices being used by employers toward those that are employed by the Elizabeth Board of Education, namely certified teachers, paraprofessionals, and teacher assistants. The term unfair workplace practices will be defined as tactics used by employers, supervisors, etc., as a precursor to wrongful termination of such said employee and/or educators. I come before the panel of board members as one speaking from personal experience. My mother, Doris Walker, was a former employee of the Elizabeth Board of Education from September 1999 through September 2009 as a certified tenured teacher. She was the victim of constant harassment by supervisors, human resource personnel, and various other administrators, was discriminated against because of her age. She was told that she had to see a forensic psychiatrist, one that the board appointed, without any justification or public hearing or meeting. When she appealed and applied for transfer to a safer class situation, as her safety was deliberately compromised in the alternative education class with no adequate security, the very classes she taught for many years, she was further harassed, ignored, illegally stripped of her rights as a tenured, certified teacher, and disrespected by being told, "Don't come back," by the then director of the Human Resources Department. I am not shocked to hear in 2012 that the same tactics are still being used and still being ignored by the newly appointed Board of Elizabeth, but I am rather disappointed that a district that prides itself on the quality and improvement of education of its students is not concerned with conducting itself in a manner that prides itself equally on the quality of treatment it extends to its educators and employees. I was not shocked when current employees from the Elizabeth School District recanted the same harrowing tales of being deemed mentally unfit and being requested by the board to undergo unnecessary psychiatric evaluations by medical doctors of the Board of Elizabeth's choosing. The same District of Elizabeth also gives itself credit for being a no-bully zone, yet applies tactics that only a cold and heartless bully would use against employees that they see fit to hire in the first place. I'm very disgusted and disappointed with the district's treatment of the students of Elizabeth School District, most of all, because when they are deprived of quality educators because of scare tactics such as these described, they are the losers. At the end of the day, big money, big politics, and big pensions don't make the difference. It is the quality of education and the respect for its educators that deliver that education that truly makes the grade.
Mrs. Jamba, would you please wrap up your comments?
Surely. You see, ladies and gentlemen of the board, if you expect to be able to deliver a quality education to every student in this district, you must first individually put yourself under serious scrutiny and decide for yourselves if any action against the members of your employer is just or unjust,
Mrs. Jamba, thank you for your comments.
unfair,
Thank you. You've exceeded your time. Thank you for your comments.
God bless.
Thank you for your comments. Next, I'd like to call Miriam Perez, 233 Murray Street.
Everyone, God bless you. Merry Christmas. I am here to know about the results of my investigation about my person. They say that I abuse kids. I am waiting for. I gave my telephone number to one of you the other day, and nobody called me. This affecting my person. This affecting my family. That's not fair. I work here for 10 years. I don't know what's going on. That's respectful. I love all of you. I respect all of you, but it's my person, so I would like to know what's going on. I never abuse nobody. I can get a good job in any place, so I don't know.
Mr. Dunn, do you have her information?
I just have her name. I don't have her name.
Okay, can you give your number to Mr. Dunn, and then we can reach out to you, make sure that we can get back to you in a timely fashion. Your name and phone number. Right over to Mr. Dunn. Thank you for your comments. Okay, next, Pia Carbajal, 19 DeHart Place.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy holidays.
One second, Pia.
Yeah.
Can somebody help her with that microphone, please?
Thank
You know, not everyone is as tall as I am.
Happy holidays to everyone. I'd like to thank you very much for all the help that he's been giving to Joseph Patrick, School Number 4. Our PTO, our parent-teacher organization is working very hard. Mr. Camelino, Ms. Roper, Ms. Andrea, Ms. Melissa, everybody is working. And thank you for sending Ms. Melissa Marquez. It's been a great idea. Thank you. Also, our teacher assistants, it's been great. We have like around 800 students. Last year it was 600, I think. So there is a lot of work to do over there. Also, I'd like to let you know we have a holiday event tomorrow, so everybody's inviting. Santa Claus is coming to town. The firemen, everybody. And I bring this evening Miss Lori Safini. She's the assistant teacher director from Arts and Bound in Orange, where Irena is painting. It's an organization that helps the special needs children in regular classes too, to develop their creativity, to release all their art. And if we are talking about autistic children, it would help them to communicate through her artwork. In Irena's case, it make a big difference. Irena's words were like, "Mommy, you know the feeling? I feel great. I could finally express what I feel." My daughter, as everybody knows, is a selective new child. She will pick the people to talk, and it has been a long journey for me, let me put it that way. And instead of crying, I choose to try to make a difference and find ways how to help her to grow. And I have the pleasure to have the lady here, Miss Lorisa Thing, and she will tell you more about this great place to be. And I hope all the children in Elizabeth will have a chance to be there. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Lori Saffin, 70 Maplewood Avenue.
Hello, my name is Lori Saffin, and it's a pleasure to be here tonight. I'm very impressed by what you shared this evening. Wow, you have a lot to be proud of. So I'd like, as a board member, as a teacher assistant, and more importantly, as a parent of a child with a disability, I'd like to share with you the mission of Arts Unbound, and then speak a little about that from a personal standpoint. Arts Unbound is a non-profit organization dedicated to the artistic achievement of youth, adults, and seniors with disabilities. Through our professional classes in the visual arts and exhibitions in our art gallery and throughout New Jersey, we are committed to releasing the artistic expression of people with mental, physical, and developmental disabilities, and providing vocational opportunities for the emerging and established artists. I've had the pleasure of meeting Pia and having Irina in our class. I specifically mentor a group of 9 young people with disabilities ranging from autism, mental illness, physical disabilities. We have a student in a wheelchair. The ages range from 7 to 52. We have very talented young people who choose to express themselves best through their art. We offer them an opportunity to exhibit their work at our gallery, and not only our gallery, but we've been invited by Johns Hopkins to exhibit in their gallery and several other venues. If their art sells, they get 60% of the profit, so this allows them an opportunity for an earning, but more importantly, this allows them an opportunity for validation as artists, helping lift the stigma of disability. I would like to speak to you as a board to consider visiting our site in Orange, New Jersey. Come specifically to visit the class that I help host so you can see the benefits of what we have to offer, and perhaps you might consider using our organization in your school system to reach out to the special needs students that you so diligently work with. Our teachers come out to your location, or you can bring the students to our location, where they're all professionally trained art teachers. I can speak personally from this experience. The reason I'm involved with this organization because I have a daughter with a disability. Her disability is mental illness. She's now 46, but at the age of 17 was diagnosed with a schizoaffective disorder and bipolar disorder. It was a very long, difficult journey, but she's finally now accepted responsibility and has the insight to manage her illness. And as an artist, as someone who always was artistic, is now an artist, thanks to Arts Unbound.
Ms. Sasson, I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up your comments.
Okay. I'd just like to share that our motto is Art Saves Lives, and I can tell you personally, I know that to be true. Please visit us. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. James Carey, 212 Inslee Place.
Good evening, members of the board.
Good evening.
I come before you today because a lot of times I come up here from a perspective of accountability, but today I want to come up here. I want to acknowledge you guys, the football team, for the great job. Coach Quinn, he's not here, but for the great job you guys did. The Elizabeth football team basically put Elizabeth back on the map in terms of football, and I want to commend you guys for that. In particular, Carlos Trujillo, my friend, I want to commend you because I asked you for 2 buses. You didn't have to do it, but you did. And I asked you for 2 buses, and when I arrived at the game, I seen buses coming from all points of the city of Elizabeth. So, I wanted to thank you for that. But on the flip side, I'm a little upset at the Star-Lyot newspaper. In particular because they did our guys a disservice. I don't know what it is. You got to be from a parochial school to qualify as the #1 team in the state of New Jersey. And I'm really upset, as a former athlete, class of '84 county championship basketball team. I'm really disappointed because what you're doing is committing grand larceny against our kids. That's how I feel in my estimation. And I hope that you guys will write a letter to the NJSIAA, also to the Star Liar, expressing your outrage towards the ranking. I mean, News 12 put it clearly when they said the Dillon Trophy goes to the #1 team in the state of New Jersey. Okay? Not number 2, number 1. But according to these jerks at the Star Liar, in order to qualify as the #1 team, you got to recruit from the best players from around the state of New Jersey to comprise a team. I find it absurd. It takes away from the competitiveness and the competition of the kids in public schools, in particular our kids in the city of Elizabeth. So I will hope that you guys will write a letter to the NJSIAA and the Star Ledger expressing your outrage towards that ranking. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments, Mr. Carey. At this time, I close the public comment portion of this meeting. The President requests a motion to go into private session to consider matters exempt under the Open Public Meetings Act, specifically for discussion of personnel, specifically ED, DK, MH, KN, TE, MN, LS, MR, SZ, GR, LS, and DB, OFAC corrective action plan, contract arbitration, harassment, intimidation, and bullying results, and workers' compensation claims, specifically SL, DK, CS, and MA. Motion to go into private. Second.
If I may, Mr. President, I'd like to say a few words before we go into private.
The floor is yours, Mr. Trujillo.
Thank you, Mr. President. First and foremost, comments made about the work conditions here. I don't know the particulars of this case, and I don't dare to enter them. Ms. Perez did give me your number several months ago, and I apologize to you sincerely. I misplaced your number. It's not that I'm not interested in helping you or hearing your problem. I simply just lost your number. And I did bump into you a chance. We just happened to be in the same place at the same time that day. And again, I apologize to you. I can assure the public, and I believe my board the board here would acknowledge it as well, that we do everything that's possible to make sure that we create a safe, not only learning environment, but a working environment for all our employees. We take safety in the district very, very serious. And unfortunately, on occasion, there are going to be those situations where the perception surpasses the reality. Again, I don't know the particulars of your case, but I can assure you that security is paramount within the district, both for our employees and our students, and the community at large, those who live around the schools and who interact with our children every day. We go to great lengths to provide an excellent security staff, well trained. We contract police. We have video surveillance. We have policy in place. Are we perfect? I don't believe we're perfect yet. We're striving for perfection. It's an ongoing thing, and we hope to resolve everyone's issues someday. The other thing, Pia, thank you for everything you do with the special needs and within our community at school number 4. You know, if we had more parents like you, we would have an even better district. Quite frankly, you know, you go on and beyond. I remember when you first started coming to these meetings, you were upset because we redistricted we went to the neighborhood school, and for you and your daughter, it was a longer walk, and you had to go past that bridge that flooded, and you got past that. You really did. You took advantage of the situation, and you made the best of it, and your daughter's excelling. And I believe if we had districted and moved the line 20 miles, you're the kind of person that would have made sure that your daughter succeeded anyway. So, you know, I'm so happy that you continue to do what you're doing, and you introduce this amazing woman who's doing great work with those children. It's very important work, and it needs to be noted. In reference to the football game, I mean, what can we say, right? If you didn't see this game, I ask you that you look it up online and you watch it. It's seldom that we have an opportunity to bring so many people together behind our children. We often want to talk about parent participation and getting everyone involved, and they came around this football team. I don't know what the capacity is at Kane University, but I can tell you the Elizabeth side was at its max. I mean, it really brought people together. People, the whole town, generations of people. I saw grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, brothers, cousins. I mean, you name it. Somebody was connected to these children somehow, and they were there to support them to the end, because it literally came down to the end. This game came down to 7 plays, 4 on defense and 3 on offense. I mean, these kids really, it was a hard stopper. I was glad to be able to help in the community. I thank my colleagues for your support and the idea of providing busing, fan busing. I think it was a big help, and it was a reason why the game was so well attended. It's unfortunate, and you know, I never realized this before till I took the bus from School 1 and talking to some of the parents. The inability for some of the parents to actually travel to some of these games. You know, I take it for granted that I have a car. I really do, and then I just realized, and you know, it puts it in perspective that there are just people that don't have a car yet. They need to use public transportation. I had a mother who told me she took a cab to see her son watch her son play the games, and you know, that can be costly. And you know, she went with the younger siblings, and she took them all together to watch the game. So she was very appreciative of the bus. I think, you know, it was the fact that they won the championship was great, but I think we won the battle of getting people to the game, which was even more important, getting the parents involved in something positive their children are doing. And I think if we can continue to work on that, that's in the right direction, in our best interest for all the children. I would make a motion that we study in committee fan busing and the possibility to create a system where there would be buses available from different points of the city to the home and away games. And away, I think it's important that, you know, that our kids are supported when they're away as well. And I would really hope that that I could, you know, that I would have a second to carry that motion.
I second that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Munn.
And I just want to add on to what you were saying, because I too had the opportunity to ride the buses to every game with parents, band parents, because my son also was in the band, and I was able to have communications with them in regards to the same exact thing. And I think we talked about that. I spoke to other board members too about that as well, about the fan busing, because they don't have opportunities to get out there. And I've been to every game, and I have to say that even though it was there were a lot of people from Elizabeth, and we always were filled more than the other teams or the opponents, that final game with busing them, it was amazing. I turned and I looked around, I was like, we are full to capacity. So I think that's an excellent idea, and I do definitely support that 100%.
Thank you, Ms. Munn. Mr. President, if I may close with one last comment. In reference to the Star Ledger, you know, the Star Ledger hasn't been very fair to this district at all. And my personal opinion, it's always been that they have put politics ahead of our children. Yes, a lot of what we do, we are elected officials. We go to the public and we ask for their vote and trust. And we have flaws, and on occasion they've been right to write their stories, and a lot of times they haven't wrote the good story. They haven't written the good stories of success in the classroom. When we achieve success academically, athletically, or in the arts, they tend to ignore us. Here we are, state champions. And again, although the rankings are subjective, they mean a lot to our community. It means a lot to our community, and we have to be representative of that feeling. If it means a lot to our community, it should mean a lot to us, because after all, they are who put us here. And I would also make a motion that we do write a letter, and that we express our disappointment in their inability to give our kids a fair shake. Not only in this instance, but overall. There's a lot of academic and arts, and the band was achieved excellence as well for the second year in a row. There's a lot of good things happening here in the state, in the city of Elizabeth, and unfortunately throughout the state, what they read, I deal with a lot of people all over the state, what they read is the negative stuff. See, we've become a society where the urban areas are where the stories happen, and the suburban areas are where the papers are sold. And no one in the suburbs wants to hear how great the people in the city are doing. They want to hear about all the bad things that are happening, so they can justify the reason why they live in the suburb. You see, and that's what they're creating. They've created their own persona, and they dictate the message to the rest of the state. And if we're going to be the #1 urban school district going forward, we have to demand the respect of the largest newspaper in the state of New Jersey. And if they don't, if for some reason they decide they're going to continue this path of writing these stories, I am prepared to call for a boycott of the Star-Ledger. Okay, so I make a motion that we write that letter and express our concern of the coverage that we're getting here in the city of Elizabeth.
I would support you in that also, Mr. Trujillo.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
Mr. President, and I also want to just jump in there and echo my congratulations to the football team. I've been attending football games since my freshman year at Rutgers University, and I've become a season ticket holder, and I've attended hundreds of games. And this game, the high school game on Friday night, was one of the most exciting, one of the most thrilling, one of the most competitive games I have ever watched in my lifetime. The score changing hands back and forth. Seeing these young men work so hard all season, achieving a perfect season, undefeated, and seeing it coming down to the very last several minutes of the game where defeat was almost at hand, and they turned the game around. And as Mr. Trujillo said, and this month said, to feel that excitement and the energy and what it did for our school, but more importantly, what it did for those kids. It was just so gratifying to see all their hard work, the work of the coaches come together and win a game in a fashion that Mr. Rodriguez said, it was like a fairy tale come true. Well, we couldn't be any prouder of them, and I hope that this board in the very near, I think sometime next month, we're probably going to really show how proud we are of them. And I want to echo, what Mr. Carey, we don't always agree on many things, Mr. Carey, and we go way back. But, I couldn't agree with you more. It's such a disservice what the Star-Ledger did or does, and how it doesn't pay the respect that is needed to a great, public school district as Elizabeth. But more importantly, what the disrespect they showed to the kids. Because in these parochial schools like the Don Boscos or St. Joseph's, as like Mr. Carey said, nothing to them, and I take nothing away from their championships and their teams. But those kids are recruited from all over the state. They take the best, and they even take them sometimes from out of state. But the credit goes to the kids here in Elizabeth that, pulled it all together. They did it with what they had, and they made the season a historic one, a fairy tale dream come true. So I'm proud of them. I'm proud of all their parents and of this community and everyone who attended the game and showed their support. And I hope it goes forward, going forward, that continues. Not just for the football team, but for all the sports and for all the teams. And to our band, who's also the #1 2 years in a row. And you don't see us getting front page or any notoriety for that. So, Mr. Carey's right, Mr. Trujillo, I support that we send that letter and that we continue the good work of all the students that are happening in Elizabeth. Thank you.
I second that.
Okay, so let's go back to the first motion, which was to provide busing to home and away games. The motion was made by Mr. Trujillo, second by Ms. Munn. Roll call, Ms. Kennedy?
Castillo.
Yes.
Denosa.
Absolutely.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Padlo.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Nasco.
Yes. Then there was a second motion to write a letter to the Star Ledger to express the disappointment in their lack of coverage of our successes. That motion was made by Mr. Trujillo and seconded by Ms. Munn. Roll call, Mr. Kennedy.
Mr. President, if I also may interject, I forgot to mention one important point. Being a season ticket holder of Rutgers, at Rutgers we have right now a student who is just outperformed on the football field of Rutgers University, and that's Kasim Green. For the past 4 years, I have had the privilege and honor of watching that young man, who's a product here of the Elizabeth Public School System, of Elizabeth Public Football Team, is now been, I think last week was ranked one of the Big East players in the United States of America. He won that honor twice. He is right now ranked to be probably one of the top NFL draft choices next year as outside linebacker, has won incredible accolades across the nation, and next year, probably not only Kasim, but his brother, who's playing in Pittsburgh, Ray Graham, are probably both going to be drafted into the NFL, and that is such a great honor to all of, again, all of the hard work that they put in into their families. You know, I just wanted to congratulate and throw a shout out to all of them. Thank you.
Roll call, Ms. Kennedy.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Padlo.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Nasco.
Yes. And now a motion to go into private.
Motion to go into private.
Motion made by Mr. Donoso, second by Mr. Trujillo. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, roll call, Ms. Kennedy.
Castillo.
Yes.
Denoso.
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Montero.
Yes.
Munn.
Yes.
Padlo.
Yes.
Trujillo.
Yes.
Nasco.
Yes. The board will reconvene in public to take formal action.